Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of media videos for 2025, and we're going to be featuring game action from Week 7. Now, a quick update on our number one player safety rule, targeting. So far this year, we're averaging 0.14 targeting fouls enforced in every game, and that equates to one targeting foul in every 7 games. So how does this compare to years past? Well, starting back in 2020, we were averaging one targeting foul in every 4 games. Now, our 4-year trend has been down, and last year was our lowest number ever. But so far this year, our year-to-date number is slightly below that of last year. So that's good news for the student athlete, and that's certainly good news for the game. With that, let's get on into our video.
Our first play this week, we're early in the third quarter. We're going to get a pass to the receiver on a shallow crossing route. The ball is knocked free, is scooped up by number 7 of the defense. He runs it back to the goal line. He hesitates across the field, and then he ducks into the end zone. And we're going to get a flag down from the crew. Now, first let's look at the catch fumble. And we see receiver number 3, he gains firm control of the ball, has a body part down, multiple steps, tucks the ball away, and turns upfield. He has completed the catch before the ball is knocked out by the defender. So it's a clear catch and fumble. And now the return, we see number 7, as he approaches the goal line, he turns, he looks back at his opponents, parallels the goal line, and then he's going to duck in to the end zone for the score. Now, this is an act that is taunting the opponent, and the referee is going to flag this action properly. It's important to note many celebrations or taunting take place after the score, and the penalty is enforced on the extra point or succeeding kickoff. But here, this is a live ball foul, as the taunting took place in the field of play before he went into the end zone. And if the foul is live ball, it negates the score, and the 15-yard penalty is enforced from the spot of the foul. So this play would result in 1st and 10 at the 16. Now, if the clock were in play, and this player was working to take time off the clock and there was clearly no taunting action, then it would not be a foul. But early in the third quarter, this is a foul. Play 2, we're late in the game. The defense has no timeouts remaining, and they need the ball back. Now the offense has 2nd and 7. They're going to run up the middle for a short gain, bringing up 3rd down. Now, we see number 20 of the defense, he's going to go down injured, and the clock is stopped at 1:27 for the injury timeout. And as we look, we see the player presents as injured before the ball is spotted, so he avoids any issue with the new rule, and his team will not be charged with a timeout, or since they're out of timeouts, they'll not be hit with a 5-yard delay of game penalty, which would have given the offense a 1st down. But even though there's no issue with our new rule here, we are after the 2-minute timeout, and the injury is the only reason we stop the clock. So this creates a 10-second runoff, which the offense will accept in this case. Now we see the clock go from 1:27 to 1:17, and the play clock is going to be set to 40 seconds, and that's true after any defensive injury. And the clock is going to start on the referee's ready for play since the 10-second runoff was accepted. Play 3 is going to be a 2-play vignette highlighting one of our player safety rules, the blindside block. Now, our first play, the motion man, he's going to take the short forward pass from the quarterback. He turns the corner for a short gain, and we're going to get a flag down from our deep wing, the field judge, for an illegal blindside block. Now, as we go back and take a look, we see that the outside receiver, and that's the deep wing's initial responsibility. When number 2 is going to flash back to the middle, the field judge is going to stay with him. And we see number 2, he attacks the opponent from the blind side with forcible contact, and this by rule is a foul. Now, another point of note here, a player receiving a blindside block by rule is defenseless. So if there's forcible contact to the head or neck area, it's an illegal blindside block with targeting. But this hit was below the head and neck area, so no targeting associated with the illegal blindside block. Now, play 2 illustrates that not all blindside blocks are illegal. We see the runner, he stopped up the middle, he tries to bounce it outside, but he's taken down. And as we go back and take a look, we see that the receiver to the top of the formation, he's going to flash back to the middle. and he blocks defender number 7 from the blind side. And from the end zone, we can see that the blocker, he uses extended hands to initiate the block. And by interpretation, if the blocker uses extended hands, if it's a screen type block, or if the blocker is absorbing the contact, it is not a foul for an illegal blindside block. The goal of this player safety rule is to allow the offense to block in a way that takes the defender off their pursuit angle or doesn't allow them to make the tackle, but allows both players to play the next play. Play 4 is a view of a player safety experimental rule for the Ivy League to try to minimize injuries on kickoffs. Now we see the kicking team, they're lining up to kick the ball off at the 40-yard line as opposed to the normal kickoff line back at the 35. Now, the normal return rate for FBS has traditionally been around 30 to 33%, but in FCS, where the Ivy League resides, that return rate has been near 50%. And the theory is less returns, less injuries. And we see the kick here, it's going to go right down to the goal line, and it is going to be returned out. And FCS has many more returns because of the skill level of the kickers. And the experiment is to move the kickoff line from the 35 up to the 40, and the thought is this would drive more touchbacks and fewer injuries. So far this year, the Ivy League, their return rate is about 5 percentage points below the traditional FCS return rate, and we'll continue to monitor this experiment and the injury rate in the Ivy League on kickoffs to see if an overall adjustment may be beneficial in FCS. Play 5, the quarterback's going to throw to a receiver out of the backfield. He makes the catch, turns up, and he takes off on a nice gain down the sideline. And just after the play, we see that the field judge is knocked off stride and he throws a flag. Now, as we go back and take a look at the play from the end zone angle, we see a coach, he's up in the white, and the field judge is going to slam into the coach, and the official is knocked off their path. Now, the flag from the field judge is for unsportsmanlike conduct on the coach, and anytime there is physical interference with an official, it is a foul for unsportsmanlike conduct and not a warning. And whether there's physical interference on the field or in the white, there's no warning, and we go straight to the 15-yard penalty. And this penalty is administered as a dead ball foul, even if the contact occurred while the ball is alive. Our last play this week, we're going to address defenders punching at the football. Now we see the offense, they have 2nd and goal here. The quarterback, he's going to keep the ball himself. He runs inside the 5 where his progress is stopped and is being driven back. Now, we're going to get a flag from our referee. And as we go back and take a look at the action, we see defender number 29, he's going to come into the pile and he starts punching into the runner. And the referee, his flag is going to be for a personal foul against number 29. Now, there is question if 29 is trying to punch the ball out, and he may be, but to be legal, it needs to be a bona fide attempt to punch at the ball, not just wild swings into the area. We view this as a correct call by our referee, and we support this as a personal foul. Well, that's it for our plays this week. And as a reminder, this video is more about rules, officiating mechanics, and standards of the game, and not necessarily correct call, incorrect call. We thank you for your time invested here. We appreciate your comments. Best of luck to all this week.